Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to this new episode. It will be about the same topic that we discussed last time, which is leadership and managing schools. And all of these two fall under our schools. Are they improving? Now, I will raise a question and I hope you give it a thought and tell me the answer. If you are meeting with the principal or the leader of the school, what question would you ask him to decide that he is a good leader of the school, about the school? What is the question that if you ask him, you would really know that he is a good leader? Think of it before, okay? Are you ready? Please, yeah, okay. If you ask a question that's incorrect, I advise you to donate to how many rupees, okay? 5 million rupees to Peace TV, how is that? Otherwise, you drop the question. Okay, just to save. Good. Are you willing to pay it?
Inshallah.
If you're not willing, so be sure that your question is the right question. What is the question that from 2 minutes, after 2 minutes, you would know that this is a good leader or not? Ask him something about the school. What is the question that you would ask a principal about a school to know that he's a good principal, he's a good leader?
How many members are in your Shura committee?
Okay, thank you. You should pay the amount. Thank you. Please charge him. Yes. Okay, another one. I'm not joking. Please pay the amount. Okay, two at the same time to help each other. Good?
Where do you see our school stands in the next 5 years?
Where do you see the school stands in the next 5 years? Can you ask it in a different way? It's a good question, but can you ask it in a different way? Think of it. We will come back to it. Yes, sister.
On a graph, can you show or measure the improvement of your school
How
so
do
far?
you ensure measuring? How do you measure your students? Okay, good. I accept it. It's still close to what I'm trying to reach.
Your vision of the school.
Your vision.
How close are you to the vision of your school?
The vision of the school is already written, so you can see it without even meeting him. Now you have a chance, 2 minutes with the principal. If we have a journalist here, he would give the right question, by the way. Yeah? Yes, please.
The name of the lady who sweeps the floor.
The name of the lady who sweeps the floor of the school. Okay. What is the significance of this?
Whether he's aware who is contributing to the growth of the school.
It's a good, but is that a priority? Now, one thing is the priorities. So the question is, where is the priority of the leader? Every one of us, you know that this question is important, that you mentioned it. At least he's a human being. He knows the people who serve in this school. The Prophet ﷺ definitely would know the answer of this.
After
Okay,
you,
but
who?
I'm saying that, just a second. So we're talking about the priorities. You have 2 million questions and you have only 2 minutes with the principal. So what do you think? What are the priorities of the leader? Okay, so ask him one specific question about that, his priorities.
After you, who?
After you, who?
Have you created the leaders? I mean,
Okay.
that's the actual answer we expect from her.
Okay, it's an important question, but is it the top, on the top priority? I already mentioned the question. Tell me the best priority. Where is your focus? I'm asking you. Where your priority, on the top priority, what is the priority number 1 for you as a school leader? Students is wonderful answer, but it's very vague. I need a specific answer. What students? We said students. What is it? What's about students? Healthy life of the students or what? What is the contribution of the students? Think deeply.
The growth.
I think, are they improving the outcomes that from the students? Are they improving from one year into another? The school leader, his main goal is students, is not anything else. All the other things should be serving this purpose. Raising the standards of attainment of students. The leader has nothing that would keep him busy as such a thing. If you don't agree with me, tell me. If this is not the main concern of the leader, whose concern would it be? He is here, we brought him to this school to improve the outcomes of the students, to make our students better than before. Otherwise, we would have taken our students to another place. This involves most of the questions that you raised, but they would come secondly. who would come next and something like. But the most important thing is this one. Because every other question, every other aspect that we mentioned, should all of them serve this purpose. A school means that we want to improve, to raise the standards of our students. Period. This is it. Oh, now we have something very tangible. We need to draw the attention to our principals, to our leaders, that this is the way to focus on. His main concern is this. That's why he's trying to recruit the best teachers. He's trying to put the highest percent of the budget in training, because he knows that this way he's going to raise the level of the teachers, and this will affect the students, right? He is going to find some ways to find some students join international exams to see their improvement in comparison with other people, yes, and so on and so forth. Everything should serve this purpose. And if this is not clear in the mind of the principal, there should be a big question mark. Being a principal is not something that I inherit from my father or from my brother or I get it because of no, it should be based on this. And if it's not available, now you need to be educated, you need to learn. That's why you come here, to listen to something that's important. Jazakumullahu khair. I hope this would be a benefit. Another tangible thing, okay, another question if he allows you, okay, do you have specific roles for every senior manager? If I ask you, what is the role of the curriculum developer in your, he would start thinking of it. He would say, no, I have these job descriptions. And they had been signed by the person and had been signed by me. Very clear. Everybody knows them. He knows them. And from time to time, when I evaluate him, right, I show him the list and I go through them. What have you done in this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? How effectively are you doing this? The job description is something I'm quite sure that it's missing from many schools. Between you and me, is it missing from your school? If the answer is yes, you need to work on it. You need to have specific things, because I brought someone to serve me or to help me or to do a job, and then I'm asking him things away from his job. Do this and do this and do this and do. That person would say, no, I'm not going to do this. It happened to me one time with the big boss in Saudi Arabia, yeah, and he asked me to do something. I said, no, sir, I'm not going to do it. He said, your leader does it. I said that you can hire some people like him, but not like me. I have a contract between you and me. It's very clear. I'm doing what is in the contract. He said that you are the only one who said this to me. I said, alhamdulillah, there is one. I hope that there will be many others like me who would tell you that. It should be very clear. The relationship should be very clear. And this should be very specific. When you write a contract, you write the things that you want his involvement in this and this and this and this. When he comes to you and says that, okay, you're not supervising the washrooms. Sir, this is not my job. It's a job of another person. If it is included, I would do it. In some universities that I worked in the USA, part of our job as a part of the contract was that we are the one, if you use, because we used the room, yes, we had the keys. If you have the key of your room, you are responsible for cleaning it. It's quite obvious in the contract between me and them, because there is no way for them to get inside it. So I am responsible for cleaning my room. Part of my job, and I'm a professor in the university. There was no problem at all. But it is very specific, it's very clear. So the roles, right, that you expect from each one, particularly the senior members, should be very clear. Otherwise, there will be a mess. This person will jump over you and will cause problems to you. And no, you need to have a good track to work in it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. For example, one of the things, the job description as the head of a department is, be sure that any decision that you take involves all or most of the teachers in your department. So every decision is taken by all the teachers. Okay? So this can be part of the role. It sounds a little bit tough. It's not. It makes things very clear. When you see the red, you stop. When you see the green, you move. It's as simple as this when you see that. So this is another thing that you can ask when we go and visit schools and we want to see, we ask them about this. Do you have specific roles for everyone? Yes, no, you would find all these answers. Yes and no at the same time. Okay, can you show us something? So this is a tangible evidence that this is a good leader. This makes him avoid many problems in the future. If you don't have it, please have it. Okay, some comments. Yes, please.
I have a question.
Yes, question for me. Okay, good.
Can a leader come one step below in a manager's position and start executing his job?
Very good question, but I will not give you the answer until you take a break and you come back. Jazakumullah khairan. We'll take a break and come back. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We are going to answer the question that had been raised. Can a leader go to a lower level and to involve himself? The answer is, I need somebody to help me with that. Nobody can?
Yes, if there was necessary, he should do that.
If necessary, can I get another answer?
If it is within his expertise, or he could get another one who could help him, give him a supporting staff.
Okay.
He will demonstrate
What?
whatever solution is he into.
If you look at it from the Islamic perspective, definitely he has the power to do that. Definitely he has the power to do this. Yes, of course. How he does this, this is the wisdom of the leader. We expect to see a difference between a good leader and another one who would handle this properly in a way that does not hurt the feeling of others. With all the other considerations, yes, we have to keep this in mind. But of course, it is his legitimate right to go, yes. This whole organization is his. And he's responsible in the end. He's responsible in front of the parents and in front of everybody else. He's the one who's in charge. They're not going to go to this teacher to blame him. They're going to go to the principal and blame him. So he is fully in charge in that. This is my own personal opinion. Some people may differ with me. Okay, let's go back to some qualities of leadership. I have here something that's saying that he plans and implements strategies for improvement. As we mentioned earlier, his main focus is improvement. Every time he's planning, he's talking, he's making connections, is to improve the situation, to especially the students. Also, another thing, he should communicate with parents and stakeholders. Parents should see the person in front to meet as if he is a public relationship person. And then he would make the initial meeting, and then after that, he would say that, okay, next time you would go directly to the social worker or to the assistant principal. See what I'm saying? He is the face of the organization. He is the one who appears everywhere and talks about the organization better than any other one. So in these situations, he should be the one all the time in front. And it doesn't mean that he's selfish. It doesn't mean, no, this is his job. He is paid to do this job. What else? Or what's your comment on this? I remember they say that Winston Churchill, he was a very eloquent debater. So when he debates with another president or another person, yes, he's the one who's in front, and in the back, like this curtain, there's 6 or 7 people. Yes, they are discussing the matter, and then they are giving them their opinion, right? Then when he speaks about the opinion of those people, right? They don't even allow him to speak, right, by himself because of the possibility of making mistakes. This tells us a leader, when he's in a position all the time, he needs to consult others. I expect him in a debate, or some people would ask him, or the media would ask him, to have at least 2 of his team members beside him. And whenever he's questioned, he shouldn't feel embarrassed if he would ask, what's your opinion of it? How do you think that we can handle this issue? Or the other person, to get their expertise, because you are strung by your supporters, by the people who work with you. You're not strung by yourself. You need some support. All of us know that these 2 hands, when they are like this, they are stronger than any one hand. So you need the support of others. Again, this is the approach of a good leader. Okay? What else? Did we cover everything? Specific questions about the issue of management or the issue of leadership, if you have, because you are the ones who asked me to talk about this. You, Maqbool, yes, is the one who raised this. Do you have any specific question? I gave some guidelines that may help any one of us is how to manage. Yes.
What if horizontal hierarchy system which you spoke about
Yes.
in the beginning, of this episode. So you said hierarchy system is always better.
I said it's better because it makes the decision making very easy. You just take those people, they need a decision in this aspect, so they go to the principal after discussing everything. We came to this conclusion and we need your endorsement. Okay, I like that. Or I may need to ask this person because he's specialized. I will take his opinion, then come back to you. So this is anyone under him can reach him easily. One step, he goes to the leader. Whereas when you have a pyramid, right, you need to go through all that pyramid until you reach the top, right? Do you see the pyramid? When you want to go to on the top of the pyramid, you have to go to all these stairs, right? But if it is horizontal, you just one step, you go to the top of the pyramid. Am I clear? This is the horizontal. It's one line with one person on the top, okay? It can be in between, can be one person here and then two assistants, right? So in order to reach the top, you would go to one step before you reach the top. Now we have 3 levels, okay? But in a pyramid, like, you need to go 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 steps to reach the top. So it's easier and more practical to do this. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes. Do you want specific questions to address? Okay, let me go to the issue of management. When you are managing at least 2 things. Managing people and managing time. Of course, say that managing resources, managing everything, yes. Focus on managing time, which is something very essential for teachers. Talk about now teachers. Just see the importance. What is the way that you teach? How do you teach reading in any classroom? Tell me. Please let me know. How do you teach reading in a class? Nobody responds. I expect the shuyukh. Tell me something. The normal thing that in any class that you find the teacher is making the model reading, then he would ask one student to read, then another student to read. And one teacher sometimes would ask a student to read the whole page or the whole text, and all the other students are listeners. One time I went to a teacher, wonderful handwriting, and I entered her class and she started writing, and it took her approximately 18 minutes to finish writing. Wonderful. She used colors and very, very amazing board, 2 boards. She was using them very amazingly. Then I asked her, do you do this in every classroom? She said, yes, I do this in every classroom. I said, wow. Do you think this is good? She said, of course, this attracts the student. While she is writing, students are making all the troubles that you can imagine. Students, yes, teachers become vulnerable at this moment. Yes, when they give their back to the students, right? Students do anything that you can imagine or you cannot imagine. So the class almost was a miss, and she's not aware of that. And she took 18 minutes from the life of every student in the classroom. 25 students lost 18 minutes. Can you do the math for me? Students lost 400 minutes or so. Can you do the math, please? You're allowed to do the math. This is time management, a problem. In the first example that they gave, when a student reads a whole page, it would take him 3 or 4 minutes to read it, and all the other students are listeners. If you remember, and still it happens in some countries, when the shuyukh teach people to read, right? They would leave each one in reciting the Quran to read his own part by himself, right? So all of them are reading at the same time. Now, one of the best ways of teaching reading is this: to let the students read at the same time. You have 20 students, you divide them into 2 lines, right? Each 2 students are facing each other, right? So this line reads at the same time, and this line corrects. This one corrects this person, and this one corrects this person, and so on. So in 3 minutes, 10 people read. In the other 3 minutes, the other 10 people read. In 6 minutes, everyone in the class read. So everyone had the opportunity to develop reading. But the model that's used in schools now is only 1 or 2 people have this privilege of reading, and the rest have the privilege of listening. So they become very good listeners, and they don't become very good readers. And the problem is the teacher here, because he doesn't know how to handle this. So now by using this technique, and there are many other techniques, right? And I will elaborate on this when I teach the teachers, inshallah, here. So this something here, they are not aware of the time. And that's why you find a teacher here in class A and a teacher in class B, and one of them is achieving much more than the other one. Both of them are graduate from the same school. Perhaps they were sitting beside each other, but one is achieving a lot. The students here are doing an amazing job, and the students here are not amazing job. There was a research that was made, and this is a question I'm going to ask you. Perhaps now you know the answer. If you find teacher A is doing the best methods of teaching, using a wide variety of methods teaching in the classroom, he's outstanding in teaching methods, in using teaching methods in class. And he's average in all other aspects, like in time management, in human relations with the students, in subject matter, he's average. But he's outstanding in the teaching method. Another teacher is outstanding in the subject matter, and he's average in all the other things that I mentioned. A third teacher, he's outstanding in human relationship with the students. All the students love him, love her, yes. And he's average in the others. And the last teacher is amazing in what is missing, that time management. We talked about time management, and the other one is good in subject matter. Third one, methods of teaching. And a fourth one is using audiovisuals in a very effective way. Your expectation, class A, B, C, D, which class is going to perform better? Which is B? Can you explain this B to me?
Time management.
Is the one who uses the time well. In another classroom or another school, you would find the students in the same time, they have mastered 22 chapters. Which is better? Definitely the 22, especially if they are in the same quality. So I hope time management is very important. Yes, I gave the examples of the 2 teachers, the one who's writing 18 minutes on the board in every class was wonderful. Right. I told her that if I were you, I would spend, yes, money from my pocket, and I would make a transparency. Right. This is before computers. Right. I would use this transparency. I have transparencies that I've been using for the last 25 years in my life. They saved me a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you the story in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.